Hello, my name is Mike Hodgson. I'm the CEO of Serabi Gold and pleased to give you an update on our Coringa and Palito operations down there in Brazil. Today's the 16th of July and look forward to updating you.
Mike, good to see you and good to be talking about the quarterly highlights. So I guess the bottom line is you still feel confident around the guidance of 38 to 40,000 ounces.
Yeah, we are. We're mid-year positions absolutely where we wanted to be, expected to be, to a second 9,000 ounce plus quarter following the first one, which is good. Superb June actually in there too in those numbers. Our best month for about three to 4 years actually, so that was really good. Grades are coming up a little bit. I think I mentioned in the release that grades at Palito have been a little bit disappointing due to a bit of a dilution problem, but that's kind of been offset by better grades out of Coringa. Excellent throughputs through the plant and out the mine. So yeah, very steady quarter. We always were planning sort of to be at 18,000 mid-year, and that's exactly where we are. So great effort by the guys at site.
Right, okay, but here's the question I've got for you when I'm looking at this release is 12 million in cash, 12 million US in cash. That's great, but it's only up about $1 million up from last year. And given the kind of high-priced gold environment, maybe people would be expecting more than that.
Yeah, but that said, we are plowing all of our money back into Coringa. I mean, at the end of the day, we've always maintained that, in fact, we thought we'd run our cash down a little bit. So we're actually in a better position than we thought we were going to be. The budget essentially said all of this year we were going to basically we were going to generate about sort of $10 million, but we were going to basically spend about $11-12 million on Coringa. Half of that is the crusher and the ore sorter, which is capitalized. But a big part of this is one of the reasons our AISC appears high. We're expensing a lot of the underground development. We're accelerating underground at Coringa extremely. For example, we've got 3 ramps going on at the moment. Normally, you'd only have one. Why are we doing this? We're preparing the mine to be a 35,000 ounce producer by 2026. So there's a lot of upfront development being expensed, and that's in that AISC, which won't be normal sustaining capex. It's not normal. So that will come off. And as that comes off, our AISC will improve. I still think by the end of this year, we'll be sub 1,700 in 16s. Next year, as we're going to be trying to do high 40,000 ounces, so I imagine 45,000 plus, but threatening 50, I'd like to think our AISC will be in the 1,500s. And then when we get to 2026 and we'll be hitting our 60,000 ounces where we get to our plant capacity with the best grade we could possibly feed it, we'll be in the 1,400s. And wherever one wants to put a pin in the dartboard or dart in the board on gold price, that's going to be a very nice margin for 60,000 ounces of gold production.
Okay, so you're using cash flow to advance things rapidly with Coringa. Talk to me about the crusher and the ore sorter. Obviously, I think you mentioned that the crusher is supposed to be operational by, say, end of August, certainly before Q4. Comes through. What's that doing for you now? And what I think that people are excited about is what's the ore sorter going to do for you?
Yeah, well, people will know that we changed our plans to put in what we call this classification plant. And a classification plant is a way of actually pre-concentrating the ore by removing the waste. And that's all this purely by physical means, no chemicals at all. So the ore comes out of the mine, it's crushed to about 20 millimeter size. It then gets briefly washed and goes into this optical and X-ray ore sorter. And what that little clever piece of equipment, remembering we've already got one at Palito, we bought an identical one at Coringa, which is now there. That will essentially, between 1.5 and to 2 times, sorry, let me say that again. It's going to increase the grade by 1.5 times up to 2 times. So it's nearly going to double the grade. Today, Coringa is producing about 250, 300 tons per day at a grade of about 6. What that ore sorter will do will essentially nearly halve the volume, but nearly double the grade. So we will expect our grade to go from 6 grams to 10 plus. That'll go on the trucks to Palito, 150, 200 ton a day on the trucks to Palito and go into that process plant. And that will ramp up to about 300 ton a day at 10-12 grams when Coringa's actually at its full rate of production. So the plan there is that will then join the Palito ore, some of which is ore sorted and some isn't, It means our plants can be fed with a combined grade of about 8 to 9 grams instead of a grade of about 6. The difference, what that means is instead of the plant being capped at 40,000 ounces, it goes to 60,000 ounces without any plant capex at all. That is where we're aiming. That's phase one of our plan, to get to 60 as quickly as possible, as cheaply as possible, all out of cash flow.
Right. So there's a plan to use kind of cash flow to advance the projects. The crusher and the ore sorter obviously doing their job as you'd hope. But where's the growth coming from next? We haven't talked about exploration for a long time.
Right. Well, brownfield exploration is starting again now. What we're focusing on, we've got 2 ore bodies, more or less 500,000 ounces each. They are, and Coringa particularly, great upside to drill along strike between the Coringa trend, the zone where our resources is basically an 8-kilometer zone, only of which about 25% has been drilled. There's a lot of information gaps. Pretty confident we can actually add a lot of ounces there, particularly inferred initially, but then M&I ounces there, and get the Coringa resource from 500,000 ounces up to 1 million ounces. We feel very confident we can do that. At Palito, again, we started drilling, and again, our objective there is to do brownfield exploration, strike extensions of the existing ore bodies, as well as some new brown sites nearby, where we think we can get the Palito resource from 500,000 to probably 750. Getting to 1 million is probably more difficult because the ore body at Palito is more patchy, let's say. So our objective is to brownfield explore and get us up to 1 to 1.5 million ounces at least, which will support more production, a resource base which will support a higher run rate than 60,000 ounces a year, more like 80,000 ounces a year, going to 100,000 ounces a year. There's one other step in there too. We won't realize the full potential of Palito and Coringa with the resource base that they have today with our current process plant. 60,000 ounces is a plant constraint. So our intention, but both mines have studies. Well, Palito has 10 years of production history, and Coringa has 3 studies on it, which say its rate of production is more like 40,000 ounces. So 30 plus 40 is actually 70. So we're still kind of 10,000 ounces of plant capacity short. Simple plan to solve that problem, move one of those ball mills that's now going to be redundant for the foreseeable future at Coringa, put it in at Palito, and we can build it up to 10,000. Now, I know 70 is not 100, but it's getting closer, and these will be very profitable bottom line ounces. So immediate step is to get to 60, then go a little bit more to 70, then the brownfield exploration, which will get our resource from 1 million to 1.5 to 2 million ounces. We go through 100. That's it. That's kind of what we're doing. Parallel to that, we have our Greenfield exploration, which we enjoyed a very successful relationship with Valley Base Metals 1 year ago. They couldn't pursue and continue the agreement for a lot of their own internal difficulties. We've actually had 2 great groups at site, with another group coming this week, hopefully to pick up where that exploration line's left off. So all being well, we'll get a group coming in looking at large-scale bulk sort of porphyry-style mineralization, which we know we've got, to actually move that forward. Now, that will be a kind of an income stream for us, as I've said to you in the past. We'll get a participation in that, but of course we do not have the firepower to evaluate a great big porphyry copper deposit. But we can certainly enjoy the ride.
Well, okay, and I'm sure you'll let us know more about that. But look, Mike, for now, appreciate the quarterly update here, and it's nice to hear the plan for the progression. Stay in touch, keep us up to date with how things are moving forward. Okay.
Thanks very much, Matt.